Okay, so kita nak tengok soalan nombor 5 dekat sini. Alright, so for question number 5 dekat sini, we are given this equation of y equals to x plus exponent x. Okay, and then we need to show that this equation d squared y over dy squared plus exponent x over 1 plus exponent x cubed equals to 0. So notice that in this question, okay, so over here, kalau ada highlight kat sini, yang kita nak show is relates to d squared x over dy squared. Okay, so be careful over here. Selalunya kita akan buat dy dx. Okay, so kita differentiate sekali lagi, kita akan dapat d squared y over dx squared lah dekat sini. Okay, tapi in this case, dia nak dx dy lah sebenarnya. Okay, second derivative for dx dy. So that is why daripada persamaan yang kita dapat ni, okay, x plus exponent x, okay, you must change this so that we have x as our subject first. So kita dapat y minus exponent x over here. Okay, so dapat y minus exponent x. Now kita differentiate macam biasalah dekat sini. So dx over dy. So to get dx over dy, okay, kalau awak tak sure lah supaya awak nampak, so kita buat macam ni. Okay, d dy of y minus with d dy of exponent, this one is just exponent x, yeah, exponent x. Okay, so differentiate y with respect to y, kita akan dapat 1, right? And then differentiate exponent x with respect to y, kita akan dapat dekat sini minus, right? So we're gonna get minus exponent x, and then kena letak dx over dy lah. Okay, right, so this is our dx over dy. Okay, let's say saya name this as our first equation. Okay, kalau kita rearrange ni, kalau kita nak dapatkan dx dy, kita rearrange lah. Right, so if we rearrange this, we will get dx dy plus with exponent x dx dy, that is equals to 1. Okay, so if we factor out dx over dy, we will get 1 divided by 1 plus exponent x lah dekat sini. Okay, so this is our dx dy. So now in this equation, kita nak show d squared x over dy squared, which is dia punya second derivative. Okay, so untuk nak selesaikan second derivative dekat sini, kita ambil daripada persamaan yang pertama. Okay, so if we differentiate again, d dy of dx over dy, okay, and then equals to d dy of 1, differentiate 1, minus d dy of, okay, we have here ex and dx dy lah dekat sini. Okay, dx over dy. So now this one will be our second derivative, d squared x over dy squared equals to, so differentiate 1, we just get a 0 here. Okay, and then we have a negative here. Then notice that over here, ni adalah sebenarnya dalam bentuk a product lah, where we have our u is equals to exponent x. Okay, and then v kita adalah dx dy. Okay, so our u prime is, okay, exponent x. Okay, dx dy lah, sebab sekarang ni kita nak differentiate with respect to y. Okay, and then for our v prime, we will have the second derivative, d squared x over dy squared. So sekarang ni dekat sini dalam bracket kita akan letak according to the formula lah. Okay, we're gonna cross multiply like this. Okay, so v times u, kita akan ada dx dy. Okay, we're gonna have dx dy times with exponent. Okay, times with exponent dx dy. Alright, this is the first term, v times u prime, and then plus with exponent x, and then we have the second derivative, d squared x over dy squared over here. Okay, over dy squared. Okay, so ni yang kita ada. And then kalau kita simplify dekat sini, kita akan dapat this one is negative exponent x, and then we have the second d squared x lah kat sini. Sorry, no, this one will be darab kuasa 2 lah, dx dy to the power of 2 over here. Alright, and then we will have that this one is equals to, so ni positive jadi minus exponent x d squared x over dy squared. So kat sini d squared x over dy squared lah. Okay, so the next step that we will do is we collect the like terms. Alright, so kita akan ada dekat sini d squared x over dy squared dengan d squared x over dy squared. Okay, so let's say we rearrange that. So we will have over here d squared x over dy squared. So in bracket 1 plus exponent x lah over here. Okay, so having this on the right hand side, we have exponent x like this. Okay, and then dx dy kita ada dengan sebutan ni lah. Okay, we have our 1 over 1 plus exponent x. Okay, so this one is squared. Okay, so when letak dekat sini, this is what we substitute. Okay, we substitute this one. Okay, not like that. Okay, we substitute lah kat sini. Okay, so dx dy ni adalah daripada yang ni, yang merah ni. Okay, so merah ni daripada dx dy kat sini. Alright, so then if we rearrange this further, kita akan dapat d squared x. Okay, kalau macam ni kan, kita akan dapat d squared x over dy squared. Okay, so in bracket. Okay, so kalau kita nak dapat d squared x over dy squared sahaja, we will rearrange this so that we will have this one is negative exponent x. Okay, so divided by this one is 1 plus exponent x. Right, so on this side, dia akan jadi kuasa 2. Okay, 1 ni dapat 1 squared dapat 1 lah. Okay, and then bila kita bahagi pula dengan 1 plus exponent x, that is why this one akan jadi kuasa 3. So the next line, we just tulis balik, rearrange, you akan dapat d squared x over dy squared. Okay, so ni akan jadi plus exponent x, okay, over with 1 plus exponent x power 3. Okay, that is equals to 0 over here. Okay, so the next part, okay, kita sambung.